Hello, this is PG. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Magenta Horizon Neverending Harvest on Steam. Magenta Horizon is a side-scrolling action platformer developed by Hellfire Railway Interactive. You play as a Reaper, with your quest being to vanquish hordes of demons in the afterlife. So what is the game like to play? Well, it's a combination of fast-paced combat, level exploration, and quite awful platforming segments. First, let's look at the combat. Your character can use light or heavy attacks. You can also aim these directionally. You've got a hook type weapon that can latch onto things. There's ranged weapons as well, double jump, etc. Once you get the hang of it, it's very fast paced, it's smooth, and it's also quite balletic at times. You've got some nice loadout options too. There's necklace pieces. As I said, there's a ranged skill element that lets you customize your loadout a touch. The enemies, they're quite varied, making you adapt, but I'd say the highlights are definitely the boss fights, but for both good and bad reasons. Good because they're unique, they're very interesting designs. Bad in that they're a bit like the Monster Hunter styled fights in terms of being multiple phases. I'd compare it to the sort of mage hunts you get in Salt and Sacrifice. They're long-winded, they're quite a chore, and it just made the game worse in my opinion, with a real lack of checkpoints between these phases that just makes for a huge amount of unnecessary repetition. So that's the combat. What about the platforming? Well, the first major problem is the controls for platforming. They just feel floaty. You know what I mean is, it's like you're walking on ice skates and the button presses don't feel tight or responsive, making even the most basic platforming elements really frustrating. It seems strange because the combat is like the polar opposite. It's tight, it's fast, it's responsive, but the platforming, honestly, it's an absolute disaster. Now, for the record, this review is based on around 5 or 6 hours of play. Sadly, I did not have the time to work my way through the whole 15 to 20 hours, but from my time playing, I can say that the combat was a lot of fun, but the other parts of the game just don't live up to those standards. Visually, very cool looking game with nice character design and pretty cool environments to explore. Sadly, there is a certain sort of control button visual lag in terms of accuracy issues, and that does become really annoying. Sound wise, it does a good job, punchy sound effects. I would say though the music, not really suited. It doesn't really feel like it has any relation to what's actually going on. Anyway, verdict: Magenta Horizon Neverending Harvest is an interesting mix of fast-paced combat, cool art style, and lackluster controls that makes platforming almost unplayable. Is it worth your time? Well, for the combat, I would say probably yes, but the game isn't really exceptional. The other parts of the game are very loose, and you know, it definitely is something that needs a lot of work, so it is a bit of a mixed bag and probably not one I would recommend. Scoring, I would give Magenta Horizon a 6 out of 10. Okay, that's the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. This is PG signing off. Thank you.